Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is the physicochemical properties of drug molecules. So in that the study of physicochemical, it means the physical and the chemical, the properties of drug in the early stage or the early requirement for the dosage form or the product formulations. So it provides better understandings of relationship between the molecules or structures with that pharmacological or drug actions. So the physical chemical properties of the drug molecules, which they are involved in changing the physical and chemical characteristics or properties that are needed to be studied before we have to developing any new product or new dosage form. The properties may be physical, chemical, biological properties of the drugs. So that the need to study that these physicochemical properties of drug molecules, it is a prerequisite for the product in the starting pre-formulation part, formulations and development part, then the optimization in their storage conditions and other biological activities part. So that's why we have to know about the physicochemical properties of the drug molecules. In that physical properties of a drug molecules or any substance, so which may change the therapeutic or pharmacological actions. So the physical properties of drug molecules come from the molecular binding, the order of the atoms in the molecules. So here they are classified in their following class, that is the additive properties, colligative properties, constitutive properties. So what is that we have to see? So the additive properties. So the additions are the properties of the substance that is equal to the sum total, that is the contribution of the atoms in the molecules or in the sum of the properties of the constituents in the solution parts are there. So the properties of substance is equal to the sum of corresponding properties of the constituent individual atoms within the molecules. So there is example, that is mass, the molecular weight, because it is the sum of the mass of the constituent atoms. So that the volume, also the additive properties are there. So the total mass of the solution is the sum of mass of individual component that you have to show that is we can call as additives property. Colligative properties, so that is the property that depend upon the number of particles in that solution and not on the nature. So for the example you have to see the colligative properties, that is osmotic pressure, vapor pressure, the elevation of boiling point, the freezing point depression. So like that is the colligative properties. So the value of that colligative properties are approximately the same for the equal concentration of different non-electrolytes in the solutions. So for non-volatile solute, colligative properties of solid in liquid solutions may be vapor pressure. So this is colligative properties. And third one, that is constitutive properties. So it is substance is derived from the structural. So it is depend on the structural, or they can depend on the structural arrangement of the atom within the molecules, and to a lesser extent on number that we have to see increase and kind of the atom within the molecules. So it depend on the structural arrangement of the atom within the molecules. So for that, the example, that is the refractive index, like that, the refraction of light. Then we can say the example, the optical rotation. So that is, so these are type of the examples that consider in the constitutive properties. So now we have to see the physicochemical properties of drug molecules. In that, one of the important, that is solubility. Okay, the solubility of a substance at particular given temperature, that is defined as the concentration of dissolved solute in particular solvent which is equilibrium with the solute source. So that is our solubility, and solubility depend on the various factors. In that, the temperatures are there, pH are there, nature of solute solvents are there, the polarities are there. So like that, the solubilities that depends in that particular parameters. So for if poorly water solubles are there, solubility is less in aqueous mediums are there, so we have to go for improving, enhancing that solubility of poorly water soluble drugs. So there are several methods are there to improve the solubility of drugs. Here some examples are given. We have to go for using the co-solvent. We have to add the third substance that enhance the solubility of the solute. Example like propylene glycol, polyethylene glycol, ethanol, sorbitol, like that. We have to add the surfactant and even cationic, anionic, non-ionic, like that. So twin, AT, span, bridge, like that, SLS. So that surfactant that we have to use, and we have to increase the solubility. We have to go for the complexation. So we have to go for the cyclodextrin, beta maltodextrins are there. So we have to go for that complexation. Solid dispersions are there. Any structural modifications, alter the functional groups, the hydrophilic compounds, molecules, functional groups that we have to add. Salt form that we have to go for it. Micronization, size reductions are there, so we have to improve the solubility. So there are so many methods are there for improving the solubility of drug. So importance of the solubility in pharmaceutical field. So that is first, that is go for the preparation of the dosage form like liquid dosage form, and for the solid dosage form or any dosage form. So the criteria is there for the absorption. Drug must be in the solution form at the absorption site. So that go for the absorption, and if drug going for bioavailable, so that giving the pharmacological action. So so it is the most important parameter, that is solubility for the drug molecules. Second property is that is partition coefficient. So the partition coefficient, so it is a physicochemical parameters that influencing the drug distribution, drug transport, drug absorptions, distribution parameters are there. So the way in which the drug release the particular site of the action from the site of application. So that partition coefficient, we can define that the equilibrium constant of a drug concentration of unionized molecule in the two phase, in the organic and the aqueous phase, and that affect the drug transfer characteristic of the drug by the partition coefficient. So that the factors that affect that is a pH, most important, that affect the partition coefficient. Co-solvent, surfactant, complexations are also there. So here the partition coefficients, for the determination of that partition coefficient for the in vivo, in the living system, it much difficult. So we have to find out in vitro. So that we have to go for the usually determine in vitro by the N-octanol, the water system. So N-octanol we have to use as a lipid or organic phase, and the water we have to use otherwise water. So phosphate buffer pH 7.4 as a use as aqueous phase. So 1-octanol as a lipid phase or organic phase. So because why? So it is a polar and non-polar regions are there, easy to measure, often correlate with many biological properties are there. So that's why the 1-octanol that we have to use, and the phosphate buffer 7.4 or water that we have to use it. So we have to represent the partition coefficient value, that is log P. We have to go for the shake flask method. In the separating funnel we have to add the drugs in, so that go for intensity, that based on the solubility they have to disperse into the aqueous and organic phase. So the log P value that represent the nature of the drug, that is in hydrophilic nature or lipophilic. So its log P value is nearer to the 1 or less, so we can call as a hydrophilic nature of the drug. If more than 1, more than 2, 3, so it is lipophilic in nature. So the importance, so generally is the combinations that we have to go with the dissociation constant, that is pK, to predict the distribution of the drug into biological system. So the factors that affecting the absorption, excretion, the penetrations of the drug into central nervous system, that related to log P value. Higher the log P value, higher lipophilic in nature, so higher penetration to the central nervous system. The third one, that is the ionization constant, dissociation constant, or ionization of the drug. So most of the drug that we have to see, that is either their nature, that weak acid or weak base, and that maybe exists in either in ionized or unionized state, that is dependent on their pH. So the ionization of drug depend on their pK and the pH. So the rate of the drug absorption, that we have to call the absorption rate, is directly proportional to the concentration of drug at a absorbable form, but not the concentration of drug at the absorption site. So for the absorption, the criteria that require, that is for the crossing the cell membrane. So cell membrane made up of bilayer phospholipid. So the first criteria required drug should be lipophilic in nature. So that we have to see the partition coefficient, that we have to find out. So we have to find out the properties of the drug, that is hydrophilic or lipophilic. So if lipophilic drug is there, so it easily crosses the cell membrane by the passive diffusion, because for the absorption of drug, the main mechanism, that is the diffusion, passive diffusion. Other are there active transport, ion transport, endocytosis, like that, but passive diffusion is the most important for the absorption of drug. So for the crossing the cell membrane, they have to require that lipid in nature is there. Second one, drug must be in ionized form for cross the cell membrane for the absorption criteria. If ionizations are there, so they have to not go for cross the cell membrane by the passive diffusion. So if ionizations are there, so less viability we have to find out. Absorption rate goes for decreasing as compared to unionized form. So highly required, that is unionized form helps the drug easily cross the cell membrane by diffusion. So that's why we have to find out the partition coefficient and the ionization constant. So ionization forms impart good water solubility for the drugs, which is required for the binding of drug at the receptor interaction for the absorption part. That we have to find out according with Henderson's equations. So for the acid base, for that, so when we can say that if particular pH drug go for the ionization, so 50% drugs are in ionized form, 50% drugs are in unionized form. The next one, the properties, that is dielectric constant. So the dielectric constants, so is defined as the, we can say that the ratio of energy to separate the two opposite charge that is present in the solvent to the vacuum. So that we can call as a dielectric constant. So it is used for the measurement of polarity, the polar natures. So that's why we have to go for that dielectric constant. So it, for the solvents, that we have to measure its the polarity. If higher the dielectric constant of a particular solvent, and more polarity is in nature. So that is a property. So here we have to see that if we go for the properly discuss the dipole and the effect of solvation, so one, you have to must understand the concept of dielectric constant. So here the theory parts is there given. So placing a molecules in the electric field, so is one way to induce a dipole. So in that capacitor, the condenser, that are two parallel conducting plates that is separated by the medium across a distance. So here two plates that we have to put. So we have to apply the electricity, the flow of from the battery through the plate. So until the potential difference of the plate equals that of the battery supplying the initial potential difference are there. So charge on the electrodes, that is we have to see the positive and the negative, and we represent the potential difference between the electrodes. So here we have to use the terminology, that is capacitance. So is a measure of the quantity of electrical charge that is stored on the plate for a given electric potential difference. So C is equal to Q upon V. The electric charge that is stored on the plate, that is Q, divided by the electrical potential difference, that is V in the wall. So the capacitance of the condenser, that is depend on the type of medium, type of the solvent that separating the plates, as well as on the thickness. So when vacuum fill the space between the plate, the capacitance is C0. So initially we have to say between the two plates, we have to put the spaces are there. So that space that we have to put the vacuum only, and then we have to find out, so capacitance is C0. when you have to apply the electrical field. So the capacitance of the condenser filled with some material. Now we have to put some material, any solvents, any sample liquid materials that we have to put, that is Cx. So it is divided by the reference standard. So we have to find out the electric constant. So that is our ratio, energy to separate the two opposite charge in the presence of solvent to vacuum. So that is Cx upon C0. Now if we have to put the water, example for water we have to fill the space, then the capacitance increase because the water molecules can orientate themselves so that its negative end lies nearest to the positive condenser plate and its positive end lies nearer to the negative plate. So this alignment that provide our additional movements of the charge because of the increase ease with which electrons can flow between the plate. So here we can say that the dielectric constant is no dimension, it is only the ratio of the two capacitance in the solvent and the capacitance in the vacuum, that we have to find out. So liquid whose dielectric constant is being measured, that is we have to place in the glass container between the two plates during the experiment. So we have to take two plates, electrodes are there, positive, negative, we have to apply the electric field, then we have to find out the capacitance in the vacuum, that we have to take the ratio, the capacitance in the liquid sample medium and the capacitance in the vacuum, that is our standard. So Cx upon C0. So that is the dielectric constant. So next we have to know about the polarity of the molecules. So the dipole moment, that terminology we have to use, so that we have to understand the dipole moment polarity of the molecules. So here in that we can say the dipole moment is a quantity so that describe the two opposite charge that is separated by the some distance, two opposite charge that is separated, that we have to say. So the dipole moments here, separation of two opposing charge over a distance, that is our value, suppose r are there, and it is generally described by the vector known the dipole moment. So it depends on the individual charge movements within the molecules and the distance of the separation between the charge. So m is equal to q upon r, mu is equal to q upon r. So q is the, we can say that the magnitude of the separated charge and r is the distance between them, and the unit that we have to see so greater the charge that we have to see, the larger will be the dipole moments are there, and smaller the distance, larger will be the dipole moments are there. So if SI unit we have to see, q is expressed in the coulombs, r in the meter, so that the unit of the dipole moments dB is, which is 1 dB is equal to, we can say that the 1 raised to 10 raised to minus 18 ESU centimeter. So that is the dipole moment, that vector quantities are there. ESU is the electrostatic unit. So it is a measure of electrostatic charge in a vacuum that repels a like charge 1 centimeter away with the force of 1 dion. So molecules can maintain the separation of electric charge, so get polarized, that we have to know the either, so maybe by permanent dipole moment, or we can say that the induced dipole moment. So by having a permanent charge separation within the polar molecules, so that is permanent dipole moment, and through the inductions by the external electrical field or surrounding ions are there, and that go for induced polarizations. So can occur for both polar and non-polar molecules, generally non-polar molecules, so that is induced dipole moment. So here the explanations for the there, if polar molecules are there, that separation of that positive and negative charge region can be permanent, and molecules will possess a permanent dipole moment. So for polar molecule, water example, suppose however tend to orient itself with its negatively charged, that is center closest to the positively charged center on the other molecules. So before we have to apply the electrical field is applied. permanent dipole moments can be correlated with the biological activities of that molecules. To obtain the valuable data information about the relationship between that physical property of that molecules and the charge separations that class in the compound. For the temporary that induced dipole moments, if non-polar molecules that are placed between that plate of the charge capacitors in a suitable solvent, so that induce the polarizations of the molecules. So induced dipoles that occurs because of the separation of that electrical charge within the molecules when we have to apply it. In the permanent, that is natural separations of the electrical charge within the molecules are there, but when for induced dipoles, so that time we have to that place the electrical field that between that plates and that go for separation of that electrical charge, that is the induced dipole. So the electrons and nuclei that is are displaced from their original positions in the induction process. This temporary induced dipole moment that is proportional to the field, the strength of the capacitor and the individual polarizability, so which is a characteristic property of the molecules. What is that polarizability is defined as the ease with which an ion or molecules can be polarized by any external forces that we have to apply, that is electrical field, light energy, anything that we have to apply. So larger size anion have large polarizabilities are there. The third next that we have to see the refractive index. So before that go for the refractive index, we have to know about the refraction. So or the refractivity is part that we have to see. So refractions that we have to call as a change in the directions of the propagation of any waves, any light or any waves such as electromagnetic radiations or sound waves, that when it passes from the one medium that with to the another, so in that case the velocity is different, the wave velocity is different, or where there is a spatial variations in the medium wave velocity. So the refractive index, for that we have to see it is one of the physico-chemical properties of the substance. So it is a dimensional physical quantity specific to the certain medium. It is equal to the velocity of light that is given wavelength in empty space, or it can say that the vacuum, and by its velocity in the liquid or selected sample medium. So that we have to calculate. So when light passes or beam light passes from slowly through the substance then through the vacuum. So in the vacuum the velocity of that light is much faster than the light passes from any substance or the sample or the liquids like that. So the light passes more slowly through the substance than through the vacuum. Or we can say that when beam of light enters to the denser substance, so the advancing waves at that interface are modified by being closer together owing to their slower speed and shorter wavelength. So if light that enters less dense mediums like air to more dense medium like liquid, so it reflected, it bent towards the normal, so that we can call as a refraction of that light. So the ratio of that is we can call the sine, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction. So it is a constant, so that is the equations for that, the Snell's law, the sin I upon sin R. So the angle of incidence divided by the angle of refraction. So that is our refractive index. So if light enters a denser substance at an angle, so the one part of the wave slows down more quickly as it passes the interface, and this produces the bending of that wave towards the interface. So this phenomena is called the refraction. So the refractive index of a substance we can also define as the ratio of the velocity of light in the vacuum or in the air to that or in the medium. So that is the simplest definition of that refractive index, or you can say here the refractive index or index of refractions of a substance. So that we have to measure the velocity or speed of that light in that substance, and that we have to compare with the vacuum or air. So it is expressed as the ratio of speed of light in the vacuum relative to the that in the medium. So that is the refractive index. So either examples is given. If refractive index of the water that is 1.33, so that light travels, we can consider as that light travels 1.33 times faster in the vacuum or air that compare with, then that light travel into the water. So that is the refractive index. The refraction that you have to see is a bending of light when the light passes from one medium to another. So here we have to see the angle of incidence. So incident rays are there, that is the air, and that is the green portion, that is glass. So that interface they go for the reflection. So refracted rays are there. So that angle of that refraction. So that we have to see the sin I upon sin R. So that is the refractive index. Here examples they are given for the some liquid samples are there, that is the refractive index of that. So glycerin 1.47, water 1.34, so like that. So the applications for the refractive index, so that is identify of the substance, purity of the substance that we have to can be calculated. It is intrinsic properties of the substance, similar like the boiling point, melting point, that the refractive index that we have to find out. So we have to determine that substance or molecules, their purity, determine the concentration of aqueous and alcoholic solutions, the binary mixtures, the refractometer that we have to use for the analysis of binary mixtures. Dielectric constants can be determined, molar refractions for the calculating. So it is a measure of the total polarizability of the mole of substance and is dependent on the temperature and the index of that refraction and the pressure. So that is some application of the refractive index. The next, the measurement or the determination of refractive index. So before that we have to go, so for the refractive index of this, so that the factors that we have to consider, that is the temperature. So temperatures, so refractive index depend on the density of that of the measure the sample, and that is affected by its temperature. So that's why the temperatures are there. So wavelength of that light, so that is also affecting part, because the refractive index dependent on the wavelength of the light that is used. The speed of light waves depend on their wavelength. So the wavelength will bend at different angle if the angle of incidence is same. Now the measurement that we have to see, the measurement or determination of refractive index. So that the instruments that we have to use to measure the refractive index, that is called the refractometer. Here the examples are given for that. Four main type of refractometers are there. The laboratory that we use Abbe's refractometer, traditional handed, digital handed refractometer, inline process are there. So in that, other than Abbe's refractometer, Pulfield's immersion V-block type of refractometers are there, that is used to find out the refractive index. Next properties are there, and that physico-chemical properties, that is optical rotation. So that some compounds that is recognized we can call as the optical isomers. So that shows the optical activities by interacting with the plane polarized light. So that optical isomers, also called, we have to call as enantiomers, that is non-superimpossibles, that is mirror image of the one another, or also called as a chiral. So that the optical rotations, the ordinary light that transmit its rays in all the directions. So that is our normal light, ordinary lights are there. So their directions in all the directions are there in all the plane. When the light is allowed to pass through the polarizing prisms, that is Nicoll prisms, so light vibration is only in the one plane, one directions are transmitted. So such light beam, that is plane polarized light. So the some liquid that is placed in the polarized light, so its velocity may increase or decrease. So due to the change in their velocity, their change in the rotation of that polarized light at certain angle that observed, that is known as the angle of rotation. The optical activity, the terminology is the ability of that many substances that possess the inherent properties to rotate the plane of the plane polarized light or incident polarized light, so that it is called as a optical activity. And the optical rotations means it is an angle at which the plane of polarization is rotated when the polarized light passes through a layer of one liquids. So optically active substance, so substance which can rotate the plane of plane polarized light either to right side or to the left side. So that we have to use optical active substance, dextrorotatory or levorotatory. That is dependent on whether the plane of polarized light is rotated clockwise or anti-clockwise. So dextrorotatory or right-handed side, right side. So the substance which rotate the plane of polarizations of the light towards the right or the clockwise direction. So with that we have to call the dextrorotatory, the positive sign that we have to give. Levorotatory or left-handed, so that the opposite, the substance which rotate the plane of polarization light towards the left side or anti-clockwise direction, so that is levorotatory, the negative sign that we have to use. So the optical rotation, that is expressed in a angular degree. So here the light source are there, unpolarized lights are there that pass with the polarizers, so it is in plane direction, singular directions are there. Similar the things are there. We have to see the optical activities. Rotate the plane clockwise, anti-clockwise, the dextro levorotatories are there. So the mixture of these two varieties equal proportions will optically inactive, that is called racemic mixture. So the optical rotations, that is dependent on the density of the optically active substance. So specific rotations that we have to observe, that is a rotation that is measured at the temperature T, that we have to, and that the wavelength lambda, so given by 1 meter thickness of the liquid or the solution that containing 1 kg per meter cube of optical active substance. So that is our fundamental properties of chiral substance, that is expressed as the angle. So which material rotate polarized light at a particular temperatures, wavelength and the concentration. So that is our specific rotations. So observed rotations in degree divided by length and the density. Here are some examples given for the specific rotation, that concentration, the solvents and the measurement of the optical rotations. So we have to generally use the instrument that is polarimeter. So polarimeter measures the degree of rotation of the polarized light that is passed through an optically active materials. Polarimeter consists of polarized light source, that you have to see polarizer, analyzer, the detectors. So like that at present in that polarimeters. Now the applications, that is for the specific rotation, optical rotations, that you have to find out. So it is used to identify or determine the optically active compounds are there or not. So that we have to find out that dextro levorotatory are there. In sugar industry, chemistry, food beverages, that purity of the substance can be measured. That is important for pharmacopoeial test. that concentration of that substance that is dissolved in the solvents can be determined. So these are some applications for the optical rotations. So here we have to see that we have to know about the different physicochemical properties of the drug molecules, like solubility, partition coefficient, ionization constant, then the refractive index, optical rotation, how to determine, how to measure it, then dielectric constant, dipole moments. So these are the physicochemical properties of the drug molecule. Thank you.